Hi everyone and welcome to Grounded 2. After you have hacked all 4 transmitters on the map, the MIX.R event becomes available. If you played the first game, you'll be familiar with the concept since mixers did not really change. For the new players, it's basically a base defense event where waves of hostiles are trying to destroy the mixer device while your job is to prevent that from happening. The location for the only mixer currently in the game is directly under the skateboard in the grass games. You can find it at any point of the game, but until the transmitters are dealt with, you will not be able to activate it. In order to make the mixer defense a breeze, you'll need a bit of the setup. There are many ways to build a good defense for the mixer, but I prefer this simple layout. First, build some half walls around the device, leaving one of the sides exposed. The walls here are not really for protection, they are simply to funnel the enemies towards the opening, so you can easily kill them there. Once walls are in place, surround them with spike strips, then put another layer of spikes in front of your opening. The last piece of your defensive layout is an acorn turret, which you place at a bit of a distance facing towards your opening. It's best to have your turret at some elevation, and luckily there are 2 rocks, one on each side of the mixer, placed for us right under the skateboard. If you don't like the rocks for whatever reason, you can build yourself a bit of a turret tower. I also have a basket placed next to the mixer that holds the turret ammo, so that I don't need to keep it in my inventory. If you previously completed the Icicles event, you already have the Guard Dog mutation unlocked, so it's beneficial to enable it here for some extra damage to enemies. With setup complete, activate the mixer and start the onslaught. The spike strips you placed will take care of all of the explosive weevils for you, which is great since these buggers have the highest damage potential to the mixer. Your turret will one-shot all the smaller enemies, while larger ones will usually take 2 to 4 shots depending on the enemy type. Since the enemies are also concentrated on the mixer and only aggro at you after being directly hit, you are pretty much completely safe. But if you want another layer of protection, you can also surround your shooting position with extra spike strips. In terms of ammo, I highly recommend using the simple pebblet rounds. They are cheap to craft and provide the best balance between damage and the rate of fire. Burny rounds pack a bit more punch, but they are also way more expensive, and with lower rate of fire, they actually provide same or lower DPS, so they are not generally worth it. I tend to keep 100 rounds for the mixer, but I never actually needed it much to complete the event. Sometimes the corpses of larger bugs will block part of the view for you. You can simply hop out of the turret and loot them to get rid of the problem. There's also a pretty long pause after the wave with 2 ladybugs, so you can actually just run around and do a full cleanup at that point. The arrival of the orc mantis means you are on the last wave, and even though the mixer will still boil for a bit, there won't be any new enemies coming, so you are safe to loot. The event itself can only be completed once per playthrough, and successfully finishing it will put an end to orc raids on your base and will prevent orc bugs from spawning around most of the map. That also means that you won't be able to farm for orc receivers, unstable goo or orc creatures gold cards, at least until the next significant game update. So decide carefully whether you actually want to complete the mixer or not. One of the common uses of mixer is of course farming, for both the resources and gold cards. The way you do it is by completing most of the mixer and then letting the enemies destroy it in the end. That ends the event, leaving the bodies for you to loot. You can then repair the mixer with your Omni tool and repeat again. Obviously such farming would require somewhat different setup since you don't want enemies to accidentally die on the spike strips. Farming like that is quite tedious though, so I leave it up to you if that's something you want to do. At the end of the event, you can pick up 3000 raw science at the top of the device, so don't forget to do it. In Grounded 1, I think I only realized that you need to pick up the reward instead of getting it automatically on my 3rd or 4th playthrough, so I thought I'd mention it here. After the mixer is all done and dusted, the skateboard area is actually a pretty nice location for a base, if that's something you fancy. And that's all there really is about the mixer. Hope this was helpful, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.